Hey, Jeff Coe here, and welcome to Marketing Strategy Lab show notes for episode 22. Cast, and it's actually based on the Marketing Funnel Friday. And the reason why we decided to actually make this particular episode is because we got so many people asking about, okay, what are the profit channels of a podcast? And it's very, very interesting because as I study more of the podcast industry, is that I'm starting to figure out that it's a very fragmented market, meaning that not too many people are really talking about how to monetize on using a podcast. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, is because I believe technology is the equalizer for all small business owners, meaning that stuff like this, right? Even doing this, right? Recording it on Google Hangout, doing this recording, posting on the blog, and then having people view and actually engage with you. You couldn't do this 10 years ago, okay? And even you couldn't even do it 5 years ago, okay? For most masses, okay? You could have done it, but it would have cost a lot. The loading time, internet wasn't fast as before, right? So there was a lot of challenges, but as technology is evolving, things are becoming more easier. You can do this a lot more. And I'm a believer in a concept that I always talk about, that any business that having challenges and lack of cash flow or no cash flow at all, it's not a tactic problem, it's a strategy problem, and hence the word Marketing Strategy Lab and what we based on, and why you need to do things differently and why people need to make strategic moves, okay? And for us, creating Podcast Profit Lab, which is actually one of our first products that we created for this as a profit channel, it's no longer available right now. We have our beta testers already currently in here, and we are going to be rolling it out for the second beta testers very shortly. So if you haven't already, go to podcastprofitlab.com to actually get on the waiting list. But the point is that we want to show and use this exactly as a living, breathing case study, okay, that it could be done at scale, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home. As you can see, I'm still in my home office as I'm recording this at 3:15 a.m. And if you don't believe me, take a look here, 3:15 a.m. that I'm recording this as I'm making this actual show notes. And the beauty of it is this, is that I can take the time and to make it very, very professional. I could even have my videographer come in, who's actually have done videos for me on YouTube that actually killed it in the real estate investment world. But I figured, you know what, let me just hit the record button and see what comes out, because I'm a believer on funnels, and I'm also at the same time I'm a believer that business as a whole is changing, meaning people want to interact with the actual individual, right? Meaning that they want to see the faces, they want to get to know them, right? And to actually feel as though if you know that particular individual. And it's a beautiful thing, because as I said earlier, you couldn't do this a couple years ago. It was very, very expensive to do, but you can do this literally with this type of mic, and I just have a simple mic, simple camera that's recording, and we're doing this all on the Google Hangout Live, and recording this. And same thing with the podcast. We record with this from home, and it's really, really cool. So the point of the matter is this, is that, and the fact of the matter is this, is that technology is the equalizer, and you gotta be consistently innovating. You hear me say this over and over again, that all businesses should be what? Marketing and innovating. And I talked about this, and if you can guess again who the quote comes by, hey, congratulations, I'm gonna make sure that you get something super cool. But it's all about funnels. And even on our website right now, that we have a recorder that records where your mouse moves and stuff like that, so we know what people are clicking on, what people aren't clicking on, what people like. So that's why we're testing a lot of stuff out with these type of videos, because we used to write long copy, and I used to write a long blog, but I figured that what, maybe we should do video instead, because one, it'll be a lot easier for me, and then two, I think people are consuming this much better. So now obviously I'm going to be testing this out for another several weeks or so, and then we're going to go back and see what the results are, and then make the actual adjustments. But again, it's all about testing. You hear this a lot: test, 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 hence the word lab, right? You got to test things out, and you got to do that all the time, but not just random test and kind of throw shit on the wall and see what sticks, okay? Be a little bit more strategic, okay? Because when you do that, you can see humongous results, okay? Because too many people tries to just do too much, okay? Obviously you got to take action. So if you're that type of person who doesn't do anything at all, then yeah, you know what, just throw shit on the wall, okay? So until you get comfortable. But I've been doing businesses and running businesses and been involved in business since 2004, 10 years now, and I've come to realize that my core strength and talent is to be able to go out there and just get stuff done. So I have to take a step back and be a lot more strategic. And as I've gotten older and gotten better, I hope as a business person, I think I have, is that it's all about strategic planning, and it goes back to what our show and what the actual business philosophy and what we stand by, Jason and I, is that all businesses have not a tactic problem, because tactics can be found readily easily once you actually figure out what the root cause of the problem is. It's a strategy problem, because not enough people like to cognitively just sit and think, right? It's a lost art. I don't know what it is, you know. There's not too many people that I can have a in-depth conversation about business and then really get down to some nitty-gritty stuff, and it's a beautiful thing when you can have that. So again, you know, Marketing Funnel Friday and our podcast. You know, stay tuned, because again, this is a living, breathing testimonial to letting everyone know, for the folks that ever wondered, is there money to be made in online? Can you actually turn this into full-time income? Can you actually live off this? Can you live the dreams live the life that you want to live on your own agenda? Yes, and I'm a believer that yes, it's possible. I'm living, breathing proof of that. A gentleman with no college education, but I do study a whole heck of a lot, and learning, and I've learned the hard way that most business owners, okay, are not trained as business owners, right? They were just great technicians that decided to get into business. So, you know, stick around if you haven't done already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment. And if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe to our iTunes channel, and stay tuned for Podcast Profit Lab, because we are going to be rolling that out very shortly. So get on the waiting list, so that way we can roll that out and you can see exactly how you can benefit and do this in your own business. Now, if you say, hey, you know what, I don't want to be the guy that's actually on or be the voice of the company, then with all means, get someone on your team, so that way they can do the show for you, so that way you can generate it and use it as a actual tool to be able to parlay into more businesses, parlay into more clients, that kind of stuff, because this stuff works. And you know, keep in mind, people are going to be actually having the podcast in vehicles now. So again, you know, times are changing, and technology is the all equalizer and allows small business owners to be able to compete with the big boys. So Jeff Kogut with another episode of Show Notes for episode 22, Building a Profitable Podcast, and I am signing out, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.